Hello and welcome to Vaccine Administration Software, or VAS training for vaccine administrators. This training will cover the roles and responsibilities of vaccine administrators, provide a step-by-step checklist of the process from start to finish, cover the patients who are eligible to add, schedule, and vaccinate using VAS, cover unboxing the vaccine delivery from the pharmacy, preparing the vaccine, recording vaccine administration in VAS, and use of the vaccine allergic reaction box. The vaccine administrator will be responsible for managing recording vaccine administration using VAS. The facility coordinator, on the other hand, is responsible for managing the patient profiles and consents, adding new user accounts, scheduling patients for vaccination, placing an order to the pharmacy for the vaccine, managing the vaccine inventory in VAS, and also submitting a post-clinic report out to the pharmacy following vaccinations. Displayed is a step-by-step checklist of the process from start to finish. To begin, the facility coordinator will add eligible patients in VAS. They will then provide patients with the vaccine EUA, obtain consents either manually or electronically through VAS. They will schedule consented patients for vaccination using VAS, and then they will place an order to the pharmacy for the vaccine using VAS. Once the vaccine is received at a designated delivery location at the facility coordinator will update the in-use vaccine in the inventory section in VAS. A facility coordinator or a vaccine administrator will complete a patient pre-vaccination screening. The vaccine administrator will then thaw and dilute the vaccine. A vaccine administrator will also screen persons to receive vaccine against the current CDC guidelines for that vaccine. So that's ensuring that you're following age requirements or any other sort of guidelines imposed by the CDC. The vaccine administrator will then vaccinate patients and record the administrations in VAS. The vaccine administrator should monitor patients post-vaccination for any adverse events. Those adverse events should be reported in VAERS. The facility coordinator will then update patient consent status in VAS after vaccinations if they change. So, for example, if your patient chose to get the first dose of the Pfizer vaccine and then after vaccination has chosen not to go through with receiving the booster dose, you'll want to make sure to change their consent status to refuse. The facility coordinator will then submit a post-clinic report out to the pharmacy. This post-clinic report out will be used to identify when adverse events happen and emergency medications were used at the clinic so that the pharmacy can ensure to replenish those supplies. After your vaccinations are complete for the day, the facility coordinator or another facility staff member will want to ensure that they return the cooler back to the pharmacy with their regular returns. Facility coordinators will be responsible for adding patients into VAS, but it is still important that the vaccine administrators are aware of the current CDC guidelines. Patients are eligible to be added in VAS if they meet the minimum age requirements for the vaccine that's being ordered. For the Pfizer vaccine, that's 16 years of age or older, and for the Moderna vaccine, that's 18 years of age and older. The patient that's being added must be a resident of the facility, a staff member, a life enrichment person, or some associated staff such as intern students, physicians that are commonly there in your facility, home health, and possibly even hospice. Those non-resident patients, so that's your life enrichment persons, must also meet state-specific requirements for vaccine allocation. So that means that if your state is imposing a 65 years or older guideline to be vaccinated, your life enrichment person must also fall under that same guideline. Patients eligible to schedule in VAS must either have not received a first dose of vaccination, or if they have received a first dose, they must meet the dosing schedule between first and second doses. For the Pfizer vaccine, that is currently 21 days with a 4-day grace period at the beginning of that time frame, so a minimum of 17 days. For the Moderna vaccine, that's 28 days, also with a 4-day grace period at the front of that time period, for a total of a minimum of 24 days. In this next section of the training material for vaccine administrators, I will cover unboxing the vaccine. The vaccine will arrive in a cardboard box from the pharmacy that looks like this. It should be stored in a secure location. That location should be known to staff and should be the same location with each delivery. The facility coordinator is responsible for knowing the whereabouts of the vaccine once delivered. Do not refrigerate. Do not open until the vaccine administrator is prepared to dilute the vaccine. Do not shake the box, and make sure to handle it with care. Inside the cardboard box is a styrofoam cooler. The styrofoam cooler will also have tamper-proof tape, a warning not to open until ready to dilute, and a reminder sticker to return the cooler to the pharmacy after vaccinations are complete with your regular pharmacy returns. Inside the styrofoam cooler will be a vaccine supply kit in a Ziploc bag for each vaccine vial ordered. The kit will contain administration supplies needed to vaccinate, including alcohol swabs, Band-Aids, CDC cards, and vaccination syringes. There will also be a separate Ziploc bag inside the supply kit that contains the vaccine dilution supplies for the Pfizer vaccine. That includes normal saline, dilution syringes, and dilution instructions. Inside the styrofoam cooler will also be a smaller cardboard box with the ordered vaccine vials and a temperature monitor. Contact the pharmacy if the temperature monitor indicates the vaccine has been compromised. This next section of the vaccine administrator training covers the CDC instructions for preparing the Pfizer vaccine. The first step is to allow the vaccine vials to reach room temperature before dilution. The vials should be in room temperature for a minimum of 30 minutes before dilution and no more than 2 hours in room temperature before diluting. The next step is to invert the vial gently 10 times before dilution. Do not shake the vial, and do not use if the liquid is discolored or if other particles are observed. The vaccine will have a white or off-white opaque coloring. The third step is to dilute the vaccine. Using aseptic technique, withdraw 1.8 ml of diluent, that's your sodium chloride, into the 3 ml or 5 ml syringe that's provided in your kit. Cleanse the vaccine vial stopper with a single-use antiseptic swab. Add the 1.8 ml of diluent into the COVID-19 Pfizer vaccine vial. The fourth step is to equalize. Equalize the vial pressure before removing the needle from the vial by withdrawing 1.8 ml of air into the empty diluent syringe. Step 5. Invert the vial gently 10 times again after dilution. Reminder, do not shake and do not use if the liquid is discolored or if other particles are observed. For the sixth step, you'll want to record and store the vaccine. Record the date and time of dilution on the vial label. Store between 2 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius or 35 degrees Fahrenheit to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure to discard any unused vaccine 6 hours after dilution. The seventh and final step is to prepare for individual doses. Using aseptic technique, cleanse the vial stopper with a single-use antiseptic swab and withdraw 0.3 ml of the Pfizer vaccine. Remember, each dose must contain 0.3 ml of vaccine. If the amount of vaccine remaining in the vial cannot provide a full dose of 0.3 ml, discard the vial and any excess volume. Administer immediately after drawing. The next section of the vaccine administrator training covers recording vaccine administration in VAS. To record vaccination in VAS, first click on the My Patients in the left-hand navigation pane. You can find a patient using the search field and typing a few letters of their name. You can also identify those patients that are only eligible for vaccination by using the filtering options. Click Filter. Under the Scheduled filter, switch to Yes. I have now identified only those patients that are eligible for vaccination. If you have a patient showing up that displays a first dose and a second dose already administered, make sure to update their scheduled status to No. They should not receive a third vaccine. To record vaccination, click on your residence record. If your patient has already received a first dose somewhere else, you can select the Mark as First Dose Obtained Elsewhere. Make sure to enter a date on when the vaccine was administered and a location if you know. Select Confirm Override. Now you have opened up the patient booster dose and the first dose is locked down without any details. Select a body site and click Administer. If your patient has not received a first dose, you'll follow these same steps without selecting the Mark as First Dose Obtained Elsewhere. Simply select the body site and click Administer. This last and final section of the vaccine administrator training will cover the vaccine allergy reaction medication. Vaccine allergic reaction medications will come in a box that looks like this. There will be a warning on the box that indicates that the medications inside are for vaccine clinic use only. The box will be shipped from the pharmacy before the first vaccine order is placed. Make sure to store the box with other vaccine supplies. It will contain epinephrine and diphenhydramine. The amount of epinephrine and diphenhydramine may change depending on CDC guidelines. Make sure to report any adverse events to VAS. Do not return the box to the pharmacy after vaccinating. The post-clinic report out, which the facility coordinator will complete after vaccinations, will be used to notify the pharmacy of any replenishment needs for the box. This concludes the training for vaccine administrators.